What is up, Theta homies? It is your boy Justinpacete back again with another Theta token video, another Theta token update. With the title and introduction for this video, we're going to talk about the new update with Theta Network in terms of their dashboard. So I'm really looking forward to going on to this and going into some more details as to how it's going to be useful for the future partners of Theta Network, as well as any collaborations and education systems or institutions that might be affiliated in the near future. Just a friendly reminder, if you're new to the channel trying to find as much Theta news, updates, NFTs, or any kind of Theta partnerships, please hit that like and subscribe button. So starting on X, we're going to see here. Theta Network posted on January 2nd, EdgeCloud has now added support for persistent storage, allowing users to create persistent volumes and attach them to their GPU nodes for AI model training. Documentation can be found here, and that's listed right here with this hyperlink, and then the feature in the live EdgeCloud is also listed right here. So yeah, doesn't that make sense with the new update, guys? So I really hope that is very helpful. Just kidding. Of course, we're going to go a little more detail as to what this really means. We're going to go into a little more definitions for a couple things here that I think will be useful, and also just going on to our sponsor for today's video. We're going to talk about Theta forums. In case you guys do have any questions related to Theta Network, their projects, anything in general, I will post that link down below, and also here's a little introduction for that sponsor. If you're trying to find an area where you can discuss, find answers, provide questions for anything Theta related, and have a community be able to help you, Theta forums is a place where you can go. You can see here, this is the questions that are currently listed. Going on to this registration link, you can sign up right here, username, password, and your email. Start your questions here, and if you're able to, provide some answers to help the community. Thank you Theta Forums for sponsoring this video, and now back to the video. A couple of the definitions I do want to mention here are that ephemeral storage is this type of temporary data storage that is only available for the lifespan of a compute instance. When the instance is terminated, all the data stored in that ephemeral storage is lost. The term ephemeral means lasting for a very short time. Another definition I do want to mention here is persistent volume. It's a storage resource in a Kubernetes cluster that allows data to persist even when the pod that use it are deleted or recreated. So for this one, the persistent volume means long-term storage. The last thing I do want to mention also, I feel like for those who aren't too tech savvy, is what is SSH stands for. It's a secure shell. It's a network protocol that allows users to securely access a computer over an unsecured network, for example the internet, by encrypting the data transmitted between the two devices, essentially providing a secure way to remotely manage a computer system. The reason why this is pretty important, especially if you're applying a large language model or deploying it, or you want to make some changes to it and you are not able to be in the office to make that adjustment, this is the reason why we're going to talk about the new updates with Theta Network, the persistent storage for GPUs, and what this essentially means. Theta EdgeCloud allows users to create persistent volumes on demand and attach them to GPU nodes as needed. Unlike ephemeral storage, a persistent volume can retain its data even after the associated GPU node is stopped or deleted. That's important because when it comes to Theta Network decentralized infrastructure, allowing everything that is implemented for these large language models, for example, we'll use the Las Vegas Knights chatbot. So if that node was somehow to go down, or that computer system was to go down, the whole site and that AI bot is just useless. If one node goes down, there's another one alternative that can still use the chatbot for those who are trying to use that Sir Lancebot, I believe is the name. So if you're trying to still find questions or inquire about it, you don't have to worry about a system going down that's going to ruin the whole AI chatbot, but there's other ways that it can still stay live. We're going to talk about a couple other things, not necessarily how to create a persistent volume, but the information is here listed with all these images. But it's nice seeing that Theta Network is continuing to add more AI dashboard use cases for anyone who's trying to use it, and then I'll show you guys of a cost breakdown as to how much it could potentially cost for someone who is interested in this. So scrolling down just a little bit more, if you're trying to create your new volume, here is the dollar amount. I believe it's US dollars per gigabyte per month. So there was an example that I do want to show you guys later on, but the range was 8 gigabytes to 128. Nowadays that's not really that much storage, but that's just a frame of reference as to how we're going to do some of this math here. So the volume name, the region, it says please select the region where you want to create the persistent volume from the drop down menu. Note that a volume can only be attached to a GPU node created in that same region. And then the volume size, the unit gigabyte is by default. If you want to change it to terabyte, through the drop down menu on the right, once you enter the size, the UI interface will display the monthly cost estimation to you, so it'll tell you as to how much you are going to pay. After filing the input field, simply click create new volume button to create a persistent volume. If the volume is created successfully, it should be listed on the page as shown below. So if you're able to put all the information that you need, here it is as well. Just scrolling up a little bit, I guess, to create a new volume, here is the things that were mentioned earlier. Scrolling down as well, and then attaching a volume to a GPU node. Once persistent volume is created, you can attach to a GPU node. Please check out this GPU nodes with SSH access for more details, which we will go on to also, and then that has their own breakdown as to how much that costs. Some important things I do want to mention as well says if you want to edit the volume that you just created, you can change the name of the volume, but increase the size of the volume. Note that the system does not allow downsizing. This is because decreasing the size could potentially corrupt the data stored in the volume. So here's just a little bit, I feel like, some pointers for those who want to use this tech, just some important things to mention. I do want to go back to, it says train AI models on your GPU nodes so that it can be constantly online and how much this could cost. So going on to, remember, 8 gigabytes to 128 gigabytes is the reference that we're going to be using. Here, going onto that link that I just clicked on, it says train AI models on GPU nodes with SSH access. Remember those definitions that we went earlier on. Hopefully, if you need to go back to it, you're more than welcome to access it. And growing a little bit more as to, depending on the size of the container image, it may take a few minutes for the fire up the GPU node. Once it is up and running, you can connect the node via SSH. Click on the green show button in the above screenshot to see the SSH command. So here it is. And then above here you can see show, and then when you click on that, you'll see here is how you will be able to access it. Some things I do want to mention, because here is also some other notes that were just implementing this tech, just going up as to how much it will cost. For example, that's why I believe that's the whole point of Theta Network, to have the infrastructure but still be cost efficient. That's why a lot of institutions and businesses, when they're trying to build large language models, they are looking at Theta Network. Going back, like I said guys, the reason why we said 8 gigabytes or 128 is just because of this one right here. It was, I believe it was 15 cents in the previous one if you want to store it. So we're going to do 15 cents times 8. It's gonna be, let's see here, because that's how many gigabytes, that's gonna be how much you'd be storing or cost per month to store that amount of data. And then going on to a new one, we're gonna go on to 128 is the other one. 128 times, was it 0.15 in the previous section, and this is how much you're going to be able to pay per storage per month. So it's $19 per month to store 128 gigabytes of storage. And then when you're actually going to implement it into your GPU node to use it, it says 20 cents per hour. So then you can just multiply how much you're going to be using it per hour. So for example, if you use it for 3 hours, then you'll do 20 cents times 3, and then that's going to be $1. So wait, no, 30, that's going to be 60 cents. Oops, I'm thinking about time wise and rather than dollar size. So they've used it for 5 hours, then that would be $1 per hour. Well, we'll see as to how this is going to be implemented. If businesses and corporations are constantly having their AI bot, like for example, going back to the Las Vegas Nights example, if it's constantly running, then it's going to be just 24 hours is in a day, and then you just multiply it by 20. $4.08 is the cost estimation, but it depends on how much data is being used. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot more. Just for the reference for this one right here, that's just doing some easy math, but it kind of depends on the scaling of the data that's being stored and how much memory it needs. Just hopefully that was some fun math for you guys, just to show you guys the efficiency or cost efficiency that is very intriguing for users that want to use Theta Network in comparison to maybe any other kind of DePin project. But put your thoughts and comments down below as to how much you think, if it's worth it, if you are using large language models in the current day-to-day for your life. Definitely comment down below. If you're not, definitely put some thoughts and comments in regards to this new Theta update. I feel like potentially it's nice knowing that it's on the dashboard now. It's nice that it shows you the cost breakdown as to how much it's going to cost for someone. So for those who are just using it for fun, maybe you can even just apply to your own daily work for whatever you need to use. Before going on to the end of this video, I do want to mention one last thing as well, saying that why would you need to use a GPU node for persistent volume? So an example of that would be because you would need to use the GPU node for persistent volume when your workload requires both significant amount of computational power from a GPU for tasks like machine learning or deep learning, and also needs to be persistently store immediate results or data between runs on the same GPU, ensuring data is not lost when the pod restarts or is rescheduled to a different node. Essentially, you need both high performance GPU processing and reliable storage for your data intensive application. So that is a whole point as to this new update with Theta Network. It's nice that they are able to showcase it. You can provide any information, the step-by-step guide as to how to use it. So I feel like with any one type of usage, you are able to use it. For companies and organizations who want to use it for cost efficiency is probably the main reason as to why they want to use it. It's there. It breaks it down as the cost. So every information that you probably want to know before you use it is there in the demo that we just kind of showed you very quickly. But overall, that's all I really have for today's video, guys. Thank you so much if you're an OG viewer or subscriber and coming back to the channel. Sorry for the raspy voice. Been kind of sick for the last couple of days, but I'm hoping hoping to get better kind of soon. Thank you again for Theta Forums for sponsoring this video. Really am appreciative. If you're trying to find as much Theta news, updates, NFTs, or any kind of Theta partnerships, please hit that like and subscribe button. Check out all the links down below in the description for all the links I posted in this video, as well as staking your Theta tokens to my Guardian node, or staking your T-Fuel tokens if there's room to my Elite Edge node, because either way helps out my channel, help with the Theta network, but overall help yourselves out. Earn as much T-Fuel passively as possible and utilize it however you want. On Theta Drop, open Theta, any of the subchains on Theta Network, or just withdrawing it back to your wallet. Until the next Theta video, guys, until the next Theta update, hoping for more in the near future, but until then, it is your boy Justinpacete, so try to keep up. Alright, deuces.